Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of Anime Brain Freeze. We are your hosts and we're not even supposed to be here today.
I'm John.
And I'm CC, and when there's just too much cool anime to watch, we've got you covered. Fall is here and so are a bunch of new anime, so we have checked out a couple of premieres and we'll talk about them in the sneak peek in just a moment. And after that, we will return to our favorite part-time clerks, part-time master assassins in the second season of Sakamoto Days. So grab your multi-purpose pen and apron, be ready to sew an emergency parachute while falling to your certain doom, and definitely don't pause the pod. We'll be right back. Alright, here we are, sneak peek time, fall season, before we get to our first review from summer. As usual, for first-time listeners, this is the section where we give you our 2 cents on a couple of the anime premieres from the newest season, and we have 3 subsections. The Nopes, the Maybes, and the Keepers. Nopes are the shows that we checked out, and we're like, no, we're not gonna continue watching that. The Maybes are the shows that have some interesting bits in them, but we're not sure if we're gonna stick with them yet, and the Keepers are the shows where we are pretty certain, very certain, we're going to stick with either because they're continuing shows we've been watching for a long time anyway, or because they're new ones that seem very promising. So, we didn't have that many Nopes in the previous seasons, but this time John actually has 2. John, I don't have any Nopes, so why don't you start us off with yours?
Well, I had to do it to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had to check it out. I had to look it up because it had a stupidly, ridiculously long name. Actually, it looks like they shortened the official localized name. Now I have to see if I... Now, give me a sec. Give me a sec. I need to find the full, unfiltered name so y'all get the full effect of when I saw it. And I was like, what do you mean? This is the name. So... Backstabbed in a backwater dungeon, my trusted companions tried to kill me, but thanks to the gift of an unlimited gacha, I got level 9,999 friends, and I'm out for revenge on my former party members and the world.
Oh my god. Sounds like a real quality product there.
I'm amazed I got through the first episode.
Bad animation-wise, or is the writing as expected just the worst thing imaginable?
Little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about this kid named Light, and he's...
Light Yagami! Fallen on hard times after dying and being reincarnated in a world where he gets backstabbed by his party.
It's not an isekai, though.
Oh, really?
It's about this kid named Light, and he's trying to go off to become an adventurer to make money to support his family, but in this world there's 9 different races, and humans are basically the bottom of the stack.
Mass Effect.
Yeah. So he gets kind of kicked around a lot, and then he meets this group that they call themselves the Concord of Tribes, and they're like 8 of them are all the different races, but it's like, oh, but we need like a human to help fill in our ranks, and they go into this dungeon called the Abyss, and they sort of beat him up and leave him for dead because like, well, humans are useless trash anyway, and then he gets teleported down to the center of the Abyss, and to preface all of this, Light's ability, the infinite gacha, on its face is very useless because he can conjure up whatever with it. And that could be anything. Like when he's at the adventure hall trying to get a quest, he uses it to conjure up a bent fork in moldy bread. And it's like, okay, so
it's random. He doesn't know what he's going to get, just like, Gacha's lottery and whatever.
It could be quite literally anything.
Okay.
Except for places where there are high concentrations of mana, which then increase the likelihood of him getting good rolls, like in the Abyss.
Okay.
And he rolls this maid girl who's super overpowered and helps beat up this monster down there, and it's like, this is stupid. I'm done.
Okay.
I was like, okay, all right. I already know what this show is all about.
Not enough of your game, I don't know, the game, the mobile games you might maybe enjoy. Not enough of that in there that you could I don't know, look past its shortcomings.
I don't know how this show got greenlit because it's just this is like some bottom tier stuff, and I knew that going in, but I was like, you know what?
Let's see what they do with that.
Let's just see. Oh,
Yeah.
they. Oh, okay.
I mean, they could have
All
done
right.
something fun with it, but it sounds like they really didn't.
Yeah, it's just, and I mean, it's JC staff, and it doesn't look like they put their best foot forward, and it's like, come on, guys.
I mean, they're busy with another show we're gonna talk about, so.
Yeah, but it's still disappointing to be like, maybe at this point it's not, because they have done some good stuff, but then the rest of it is just like, yeah, it exists.
Mm-hmm.
But that's that. How about we jump into the other note, because it's equally dumb for different reasons. It's Toa no Yugure, Dusk Beyond the End of the World. Okay. It's all about this kid named Akira, and he's in his car with his parents, and they get into an accident, and they both die. And he's taken in by this scientist guy, and that helps give him something resembling a family. And it just seems like this, in the face of this awful thing that's happened to him, he's sort of been given this second chance at the family. It's nice and it's uplifting, and he has this adoptive sister named Toasa, and as he's grown up, he's kind of gotten into his sister a little bit.
Well,
But she's also into him, so it cuts both ways.
good for them, I guess.
And Toasa is like this super genius at like robotics and AI and whatnot. And one day when she's about to give a presentation on stage, someone in the audience runs up and tries to shoot her, but Akira takes the bullet instead, and he passes out and wakes up in this like capsule or something, and it's like however many years into the future, and like the world is in ruins, and he meets this robot girl that reminds him of Toasa, and it's just like, what are we doing here, PA Works?
What is happening? It sounds very confusing.
Like, this show is beautiful because it's PA Works, but like this,
I mean, that much, but you would expect.
But this story is like, why? Huh?
It's a mystery show, I guess, maybe? I mean, the setup is kind of worrying, but that could be interesting to find out whatever happened to the world and whatnot.
It's fine because they're not blood related,
Yeah.
but also like, okay, no, this isn't what I signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
Because they really buried the lead with all of the promotional material for this show.
What were they promoting it as?
Like, oh, he's trying to find his long lost lover, and I'm like, oh, well, that sounds like it could be. Not that it's his half sister.
I mean, they probably rightfully thought that they would alienate people if they mentioned that in the trailers.
Yeah, a little bit. So I was just like, Jesus Christ. Okay, no, bye, get out. And this is and we have mentioned this with PA Works. This is the problem. They do such great work, and they go in so hard on everything. And then maybe like 50% of the shows they work on, I'm like, what did you sign up for?
Yeah. Well,
I have another apocalypse show to talk about in the maybes that seems like it might be more interesting in premise. So there's that, but this show can go in the bin.
So it does. And I mean, at least it gave us 2 nopes again after a while, so there's that.
It has been a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that has us moving on to the maybes. And the first show I would mention quickly, because the first episode really hasn't aired yet. I mean, we got an episode 0. One Punch Man season 3, which has been coming for a while. Like, it's how long has it been since season 2? I don't even remember.
Oh, it's been at least 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I am just throwing numbers out there. 6 years.
Jesus, okay. Well, yeah.
I almost got there.
Really? 6 years since season 2?
2019, April.
My God. Okay, sure. I mean, it kind of makes sense because One Punch Man season 1 was the first show reviewed on our show, and that was 2016. So,
oh my God.
Yes, what is time? Excuse me while I turn to dust. But yes, so we finally get season 3. Not as highly anticipated as season 2 was for a while, because we now know that it's still with JC Staff, which back then we were all looking forward to season 2 and then learned that Madhouse wasn't doing it anymore. And then I don't remember fully what we said about season 2, John. I think it was still an enjoyable, because it was adapted from a good manga. So the writing was still there. The characters are still great. The problem is the animation downgrade was pretty severe.
Yeah, and that was the problem. I mean, from a writing standpoint, like it's still fine. And I feel like it was more of like a little bit more on the world building, and we saw some more characters. So, obviously the animation wasn't there, but I don't feel like season 2 was bad per se.
It was not inherently bad. It just had to be compared to season 1. And in the animation department, just like with Fire Force, you have to compare season 3 to season 1 and 2. And season 3
problem with that is you're comparing it against itself.
Yes, and that's always the harshest comparison to make if the previous seasons were really good and there's some problematic things happening in consecutive seasons. And I mean, in here it's more understandable because the studio change, which didn't happen in Fire Force. And JC Staff just isn't fucking Shingo Natsume Madhouse with a lot of favors, called in all of the favors. So that was to be expected. Although I feel like even in season 2, we said that is probably one of the best looking, if not the best looking JC Staff shows that we've seen.
I mean, JC Staff are capable of doing good work. It's just, it's so far and few between. It's like, I don't want to compare them against a studio like Dean, but Dean has also shown themselves to be like, okay, once every decade, we can push out something good, and then everything else is like, oh.
I feel like season 3 of One Punch Man is probably going to be on the same level as season 2. At least writing-wise, we're going to be there. And episode 0 was a nice recap. Like, after 6 years without rewatching it, it was good to be reminded of who some of the characters introduced in season 2 were. Like, with Garo, who was kind of pretty important until the very end in season 2, and then not really anymore. I mean, he will probably become more important in season 3 again, because the association of monsters like it abducted him. It's probably going to turn him into a super fighter or something. We'll see. Also, I forgot he was voiced. He's voiced by Hikaru Midorikawa, who also voices Akihiko Sanada in Persona 3 Reload, which really threw me off because I'm playing that game right now, and I was like, whoa, wait a second. He's kind of a distinctive voice, so there was like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, don't hear him as much nowadays, but when you hear him, it's like, hey.
Yeah, it's like a Kenjiro Tsuda thing. It's like every time he's on screen, you're like, whoa, one moment. So, and
at least we got to hear Tsuda in Fire Force.
Yes. He's also in one of the shows I'm going to talk about, or the one I'm going to talk about next, actually. But yeah. So it was nice to be reintroduced again. King is fun, like he was properly introduced in the second season. You got a couple of interesting more bad guys and so on, and like you said, a bit more world building. So I'm looking forward to watching this. Of course, we just haven't seen the first episode yet, and the teaser trailer at the end of episode, like the preview at the end of the 0 episode, was just no action scenes, really. It was just, characters standing around and talking and stuff, and that didn't look really super interesting. But I'm looking forward to hanging out with Saitama and my boy Genos again, and it's gonna be a fun time. I just always in the back of my head, it's just God, I wish this was still a team that's at season 1, man. But we won't be getting that, at least not in the foreseeable future or whatever. So then we're gonna make the best of it, and it's probably gonna be a keeper unless like this season for some reason looks even worse than season 2. Which I hope not, man. But we can't really say right now because the first episode hasn't dropped yet. So, but it's definitely on the maybe pile for now. All right, John, what is your next maybe that either is also my maybe or not? We'll see.
I think this might be just for me. It's Shumatsu touring, touring after the apocalypse.
Yes, that's just you, but I have heard about this show.
Yeah, so it's about these two girls, Yoko and Irie, and they're on a solar-powered motorbike. After something happened, the second episode kind of might have given hints about that, but boy, Japan sure is in a state.
Only Japan or the whole world?
That is yet to be seen, but for now, I am assuming Japan. Mm-hmm. These two girls, Yoko and Irie, are just, kind of zooming around on a solar-powered motorbike, just seeing what they can see, looking for food, looking at the sites that once were. Yoko is basically trying to follow the trail of her sister Chitose. Mm-hmm. And
who she's hopefully not in love with. Like, the guy we just...
No, I don't think that's
normal sibling love. Yes.
I think she's just trying to find her sister.
Okay, that's good.
That's as far as I can tell. But they're going from place to place, following the path, trying to find her sister. Irie is like sort of like an android, because at one point they're getting followed by this old tank and she whips out an arm cannon kind of almost Mega Man style and blows it away, and it's like, oh, cool. Okay, neat.
That sounds nice.
And it was made for a neat set piece. Mm-hmm. And this show it's very slow, very relaxed, and that just going from place to place, seeing what there is to see, but you can tell it's also tinged with this little bit of, like, there's this melancholy because there's quite literally nothing left.
Sounds a bit like Girls' Last Tour.
Yeah, I think it might be taking a page out of that book. Mm-hmm. They meet this cyborg in the second episode who can't quite remember his past life, but then he sort of does. And the girls say, you should come with us. And he says, nah, I'm going to stay here. He lost his entire bottom half, so he's basically a torso with arms at this point. He's like, I can get around using just my hands. And then after they leave, his battery runs out and, Mm-hmm. So I think that's pretty much what they're trying to set up with this. Like, there are these things that they're going to see, but, it's just like remnants of, whatever's left over. It might... I'm not sure if it was the remnants of like a world war.
Or maybe a big natural disaster or something like that.
Oh, not quite sure about that from what they were showing. But Yokohama is like underwater. So things are not good. The state of Japan is not great. And who knows about the rest of the world. But, we might... eventually zoom out and see that, but this seems just like neat for what it is to see. I want to see where the story goes with the girls. I want to see the state of the rest of the world, because I think that could be really interesting. So.
Well, if they're only on their motorcycle, they're probably going to stick with Japan for now, but that could still
for
be
the time being, but
You're probably going to meet a lot of people who try to get around in the decaying world. Like, let's see. But I hope it's going to be like they're going to find her sister at the end.
Yeah, I hope. I can't say that. But I hope certain things don't transpire. But, with what they're setting up, I have a feeling that oh no.
Okay.
But also, I don't think the manga has finished its run, so we'll see. So, what you got?
Yes, a bit of a wacky thing in the maybes. Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider. And this is about this guy called Tanzaburo Tojima, and whose dream has, since childhood, has been to one day become a Kamen Rider. The character from the well-known Tokusatsu franchise, which I've mentioned several times on this show as well. But since...
I did see one clip from this show, and I was like, all right, okay.
You know, that is a TV show, and since Tojima lives in the quote-unquote real world, that is, you know, his dream is pretty much impossible to achieve. Which is what he is finally ready to admit when he turns 40. Oh, boy. Which is why I picked the show, right? Because I looked at the age of the main character and I'm like, okay, and he's a Kamen Rider fan, but all right, okay. Why would you trigger me like that? Why would you attack us directly? Why would you attack me directly? What? So he sells his entire Kamen Rider merch, and even though he has trained enough to be able to fight a bear in hand-to-hand combat, he is ready to throw in the towel. And then a miracle happens. In the form of a gang doing robberies and posing as characters from the evil organization Shocker from the Kamen Rider TV show while doing it. Well, I mean, not really. They're just wearing like these masks that, you know, are kind of looking like the goon masks from the goons in, you know, in Kamen Rider. It's the Shocker goons. But yeah, they attack a festival that Tojima happens to be at, and he grabs a Kamen Rider mask from one of the stalls, cheap plastic mask, and is finally able to let his dream become a reality. So I guess this is another version of the delusions Arthur from Fire Force suffers from.
Oh my god, you're not wrong.
Maybe even due to the same reasons, because it is heavily implied in the first episode that Tojima was abandoned by his dad. And yeah, absolutely wacky show. It's done by Leiden Films, so it doesn't look particularly good. But let me tell you that one scene at the end of the first episode, when Tojima finally dons the mask of his hero, the soundtrack goes into insane overdrive, and he delivers some righteous rider punches and kicks. That shit was amazing. I was hooting and hollering over here. It was just fucking party in the house.
I think that's the clip I saw.
Probably. But I don't know if they played the music that they played in the show. If you saw a clip from the actual show, if it was a trailer.
I'm pretty sure it was like a clip from the show with the music.
Then, you know, because Jesus Christ, there was just hype. It was just fucking hype. Because, you know, you see him in the beginning, he's like, it's all he ever wanted. He's just weird, crazy kid, right? Even in high school. And then he's fighting a bunch of delinquents to save a girl. But, you know, he has... to probably fight them, he just rips off his shirt, and he has, like, with a Sharpie drawn the rider belt on his belly, and he does the transformation pose and does the sound effects from the show with his voice, so it's so fucking cringy and goofy. But he's super strong, so he beats the delinquents, but he also scares the shit out of the girl he kind of has a crush on. So this puts him back, and then he's just, I don't even know what he works at, if he's a construction worker or something, whatever. But, you know, he's super strong, but he's like, oh, fuck, I can never be a Kamen Rider. And then he sees Shocker on TV, and then first, like, the robberies, and he's like, that's not what Shocker would do. That seems too lowbrow, whatever. And then it just happens, and he's, you know, at the festival, and he's so happy when he puts on the mask. And it's really like a transformation, right? Like, he puts on the mask, and you see, like, the blood pumping through his veins faster, and, like, all... You know, his body is kind of somewhat changing shape or whatever, and he starts to cry because he's so happy that he can be Kamen Rider for real in a way. And, you know, it's kind of scary because, you know, depending on where this could go, this could become some creepy shit. But it's also really nice, like, that he finally can achieve his dream and whatever due to these hoodlums. And the leader of the gang, funnily enough, apparently also did that, like dressed up his goons as with these masks because he was also a fan of the show, but he liked Shocker and not Kamen Rider. So they're destined to clash, man. They're like arch villains just on another level because they're fans of the same show.
God, that's so dumb, but I love it.
It's amazing. So we'll see where this goes, right? You know, the preview of the next episode promises a bunch of more like wacky people dressing up as characters from the show. There's this girl apparently that is dressing up. I forgot what was her name was. One of the other characters from the show, and. Yeah, we'll see. And she's pissed that she didn't get to be the one to actually to be the first one that beats up the Shocker robbers. So we'll see. This is obviously a satire. I doubt it's gonna get super dark, but maybe it's gonna throw a samurai flamenco twist at me. Who knows? Don't know if the setup has enough staying power for a whole season, but but it's fun, and it's kind of like the end of the first episode was really heartfelt and made me feel the feels when he was able to be like, oh my god, I finally can do what I was destined to be. And I like Kamen Rider as well. Like it's my favorite tokusatsu franchise too. I don't watch all its seasons, but I occasionally dip back in. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch this one, and this looks promising, whatever. So this is tailored towards me.
I'm curious, have you been checking out Zets?
No, but I plan to. It looks really good. Like, I heard a lot of good things. There was also one of the previous, the season before the most recent one, apparently, I think was also really good. I want to check that out as well. The last one I watched was Build, and that was really fucking good. So, we'll see which one I'm going to watch next. But I'm interested to dive back into that franchise again. And the live action ED of this show has singing takoyaki. So what the heck, why not?
What?
Tojima loves takoyaki. He fucking gulps that shit down, like eats it in like at least 2 scenes in the show. And so in the ED, it's live action and they have like stop motion animated takoyaki. And there's that one takoyaki is dancing and singing and doing rider punches and rider kicks. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm gonna have to show it to you, John, later. It's fucking incredible. I can't believe in a show like that they would do like an amazing ending like this. Like, what am I looking at? This is fucking incredible. It's like this seasoning on the takoyaki that looks like the rider mask. It's great. It's a crazy wacky show. But and it's a maybe right now. We'll see how I feel after like 3 episodes or something. But it could become a keeper. It's very charming. What is your next maybe, John?
My next maybe is my last maybe.
It's probably also my last maybe.
I am willing to bet that, yes, and that's 2 Year Eternity Season 3.
Yes.
Season 2 sure was.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm already 2 episodes into Season 3, and I'm not really sure what to make of it. Because, obviously Fushi is immortal, and he can be whatever and wherever and whenever. But I guess everyone else got to live too, so what were the consequences of Season 2?
I mean, I don't even know. Are they not just like mirrors? So first of all, just to set it up, after spreading his roots over the entire world and going to sleep, wishing to awaken in a peaceful new world, Fushi seems to have achieved exactly that, as he awakes in a version of our current world, just with the roots all over the place. And then he meets a bunch of new people and also brings back, I guess, I have only watched the first episode, his dead friends, but I also don't know if they are the real people. Like, did he bring back their souls? I think that he started doing that in season 2, right? He already did that there for some of them. He brought March back in season 2, right?
In some capacity, I think.
And I don't know if she was just a mirror of his memories or if it was like really her. I don't remember what it actually came down to. I need to re-listen. If not rewatch the second season, I need to re-listen to our review of that to confirm that. So I don't know if all the friends he brought back, if they actually are just those people or if they are just like clones or whatever, or copies with his memories of them imbued, and that's why they act like the original people.
I wonder about that, but it seemed like, oh, okay, I guess everyone's just here again.
Yeah, I mean, again, they probably said that in season 2, if they actually are those people, or something that Fushi just came up with because he couldn't deal with being without them or whatever. Which, could be the story of the season, like maybe finally letting go of them or something like that. Now that he has achieved, being a human, he needs to maybe learn to cope with that. We'll see. But we also got a couple of interesting new characters. I have not had confirmation of who Mizuha is yet, which I assume is happening in episode 2, right? That she is an reincarnation, and descendant of the villain from season 1 and season 2, something like that, right?
They don't seem to want to push that information quite yet.
Okay.
Because Fushi meets her face to face in that episode.
At the end of episode 1, actually.
Was it episode 1? I thought it was episode 2.
Episode
2 other things happen. That's right.
They meet at the end of episode 1, but I don't know they don't talk yet. He just talks to her. She doesn't, she just looks at him, and then the episode is over.
Oh, right. No, they talk a little bit more at the start of episode 2 then, and then Mizuha has a serious case of bad anime mom.
No kidding. Jesus. Scumbag anime mom mode at its finest. Mizuha's mom is like, hey, kid, you are a badge I'm wearing, and I love to take Instagram photos with you or whatever, but I actually don't give a shit about what you actually want. So she always pushes her daughter into things like, try this out, you're gonna be the best, whatever, but actually I don't care. And the look she gives Mizuha just when she dares to entertain the thought of maybe not doing something for a while, just like that look, holy shit, that was, that froze the blood in my veins. So yeah, we'll see where. I assume that is elaborated on more in episode 2.
A little bit, and she may have gone missing. I'm not sure where.
Okay.
Have to see how that plays out. But
and Fushi seems to be in the middle of an identity crisis. Now that he's in an age of peace, and all his friends come back to life, but at least in the first episode, March has already found a new family apparently and everything, and he's like, oh god, why am I even here? What am I even here for then? He's trying to make a thing, and that is not recognized by the fish. He's a fish at that moment, and the other fish doesn't give a shit about the star he makes in the sand or whatever. It feels like his wish has fulfilled, but now he can't deal with not being maybe necessary anymore. Though, we all know that probably this is not as peaceful of an age as it looks like on the outside. So the conflicts are probably somewhere else now, and he's gonna be dragged into those sooner or later again. And the OP makes that pretty clear. Maybe it's more on a more personal note now. Probably the show's gonna go into bullying and stuff like that. I would imagine so, if it's in the current time, and most of our characters are in high school and whatever. So
they sort of do show a little bit of that in episode 2 as well. So
yeah, so. It's interesting because this is compared to the first 2 seasons, this is really a completely different thing, completely different setting. When because the previous seasons were mostly there was always open conflict, or in one way or another in the countries that Fushi was in, and if there wasn't, there were what were they called? This weird fucking...
the knockers.
I had forgotten that was their name.
That is what they were called.
Let's see if the season also gets some giant knockers. We'll
Hold on a second.
We'll see. But that was mostly the first 2 seasons. Like that, Fushi always was dragged into very violent conflicts and war and whatever. I don't know if this is gonna happen this season, and it's different cast, and since it's set in current time, it has just a completely different feel to it. So I wonder how I will feel about this season. I don't know. I mean, we both didn't feel great about season 2 because of animation downgrade and also because of the weird pacing. But I'm still willing to give season 3 a chance. I don't know if it's gonna be the last season. Have they said? Like, is it supposed to be the final one, or are they gonna go even farther into the future?
I don't know if that's been mentioned one way or the other. I mean, sort of looking at the chapter names for for the next episode coming up, and they would have to cover a lot.
Okay, so we're probably gonna get it.
But this is also supposed to be 22 episodes. Mm-hmm. So,
okay.
I mean, I guess it's possible because I think the next episode, it looks like it's chapter 124, and this is not the manga has finished, but this is not a complete listing of the chapters. So,
okay.
Oh wait, okay. It looks like 201 is the final chapter. So
it sounds like we'll have to do another season.
Yeah, so we don't know if there's like another time change after this story or whatnot. So I guess we'll see. If we'll stick with it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it a couple more episodes at least. We'll see, but also maybe stick with it all the way through, depending on what happens in the show. I mean, season 2 still had enough interesting things in it to string us along, but that doesn't automatically mean that season 3 will be able to achieve the same. All right, then we're gonna move over quickly to the Keepers, and we're gonna start with another season 3 that both of us checked out, and that is Spy Family season 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's Spy Family season 3. Joe, what can we say about the first episode of that? I mean, the second episode I think is out, but I haven't watched it yet. But it's like, hey, the Forges are back and they're up to the same shenanigans. This is a sitcom which has been pretty light on plot in the previous seasons. Like, there were always bits sprinkled in between where stuff got a bit more tense and more narrative focus, whatever. But the first episode of this was just, hey, we're back to the half-episode format for each of the little stories that they have. In the first one, the family has to stop a rampaging construction worker. And Lloyd has an excavator battle for some reason. And
dude, I was like, wait a minute. Battle construction vehicles? That one game that no one else remembers?
Apparently someone did.
The only reason I know about that game is because the best friends and Saturday morning, what do they call it? Saturday morning, was it Scrub Lords? I think it was, yeah. And they played that game and it was like, oh, this looks like a video game.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. And the second half is with Fiona, yay. And she teams up with Frankie, and they're first off to a rocky start, but end up working somewhat well together by the end. So it's all that team up is
super fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything with Fiona in it is fun because she's amazing. I wish she was more in the show. She wasn't that much in season 2, if I remember correctly. Only small appearances here and there, I think.
I thought she was there maybe a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But not, like, she was more heavily featured in season 1 with the amazing tennis match and so on. So, yeah. So, I'm always happy when she appears because she's super fun. And I ship it because, like, I mean, I know Lloyd is gonna end up with Yor and Anya because they're gonna end up becoming a real family. I get it, but oh my god, I'll be so sad for Fiona when she realizes that she will never be able to get together with him because she loves him so much. And she's a cool character. She's super fun. So I'm always happy when she's there. And we'll see. I don't, like I said, I haven't seen the second episode yet, but I heard that all the chapters that are coming up are more like self-contained. And it's going to be more of this, which is kind of a bummer for me in a way, because the one thing I have been saying I wanted more from season 1 and season 2 was actually getting more into the actual mission and the story of, the conflict between Westalis and, what is the other one?
Ostania.
Ostania, right. And, they do like baby steps in that regard. There's always like this one step, and then there was this stuff with the assassins on the boats on the cruise ship in season 2 that was more, like I said, more tense and everything.
We're starting to get a peek into Twilight's past with the second episode as well, which is
okay. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, that's also the other thing that I wanted. I wanted to know more about Twilight/Lloyd
with his real name redacted.
Of course. But yeah, stuff like that. That's nice to hear that that's coming up. But I really hope that we're gonna get a bit more plot going here, because as much as I like the sitcom shenanigans and the bits episode with there's new stuff, new funny things happening with Anya, and with, of course, with my favorite doggo Bond and everything. So sure, I love all of that. But it's nice, relaxing thing after work. It's one of those shows. But I feel like the show also has a lot of potential in the plot department. So that's the one thing I still want from it. And I don't know if I'm going to get it from season 3. But I'm going to enjoy it either way. It's just like, hey, maybe you can also give me that, which I also really want. I mean, John, you're probably, since it's also in your keepers, you're looking forward to this as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Great. So we're definitely going to keep watching that, and it's always a light, breezy watch. Like, these episodes go by so quickly. It's just super entertaining and fun. Just, lighthearted fun, and that's what it's supposed to be. So, John, what is your next keeper?
It's my last keeper, and that is the return of Ranma half. First season was a big giant goof, as you would expect. The second season, Ranma has a stalker, and
I bet I know who that is.
And there's more than one.
Okay.
There's this kid who's trying to, I can't remember his name. He's trying to follow him around and figure out, what's his weakness so I can exploit it so I can get with Akane. And it's like, turns out Ranma's weakness is cats.
Yes.
His father, in his infinite wisdom, tried to teach him like this cat fist technique and just threw him into a hole filled with cats, and it freaked him out so bad that when he just loses it, he kind of turns into a cat, not like physically, but mentally into a cat. And that really confuses this kid and Kuno and Akane, and he kisses Akane by accident.
It doesn't mean anything.
And then the other one is, guess who? Shampoo.
Yes, of course.
And Shampoo's great-grandmother places a curse on Ranma so that he can never change from a girl back to a boy, but he's already sworn to fight this guy who says he's going to marry Shampoo, but weird thing, this is a weird, goofy story, but things happen. He's like, well, if you're not going to marry Shampoo, I'll take your woman. And Ranma's like, brother, what are you talking about? You could just take Shampoo. Just take Shampoo. What are you doing, man? And he's like, all right, well, I guess I'll fight you man to man. And it's like, oh, you said certain words that you shouldn't have. So now he is stuck in the woman's body unless he makes a deal with Shampoo's great-grandmother, which is just marry shampoo and you'll be able to have your male body back.
Blackmail. Great.
Yes. Isn't it awesome? But no, it's more the same stupid silliness, and it's got the same level of animation quality and all sorts of silly stuff going on. So, I am here to keep watching Rumiko Takahashi's wild ride because, Urusei Yatsura was fun. So I'll stick around for more of this just to see what other goofiness there is.
Hey, it's a classic for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I wish you a lot of fun with that. I have 2 keepers left. The first one is a new show actually. Sanda is by Science Saru. Masaaki Iwasa Studio, and they always deliver cool stuff. The most recent thing I talked about of theirs is Dan, and that is a fucking blast. So of course I had to check this one out. And the show opens up in media res with the main character Sanda trying to escape from being stabbed to death by one of his female classmates, Fuyumura. It's a cold open. It's like she's just attacking you with a knife and like, what is going on here? He has no idea why, or at least he says so. But deduces it's because she likes him, because that's what awkward teenagers do, right? Chase the person they have a crush on with a knife. This is what watching anime does to your brain, people, so stop while you can. So
it causes brain freeze.
Oh no. Wasn't even going for that. But yeah, apparently, I mean, that could be something straight out of Ranma, I would say. That some tsundere characters chasing Ranma around with a knife because she actually secretly likes him. So, I mean, I guess if he knew that he was in an anime, Sanda wouldn't be that far off, but he doesn't. So why, does he think that? Who knows? But yeah, it turns out apparently Fuyumura has been pretty weird ever since her best friend Ono died, or was at least declared dead, which of course is understandable, though this seems to be a bit extreme. But very quickly over the course of the first episode, we learn what is going on. So apparently in this world, Christmas doesn't exist anymore, and neither does winter. Sounds like your kind of fantasy, John.
I love it. I love it.
And no snow apparently for ages.
Oh, perfect.
So everyone is also super surprised when it suddenly starts snowing. And apparently Sanda has been keeping a secret from everyone, which is that he is the descendant of Santa Claus.
What?
He has been under a curse, and to lift it, 3 conditions had to be met. Ignoring any danger to himself, he had to show affection to a child on a snowy December the 25th. And then he had to give a child something it asked for. And Fuyumura forced these conditions by first attacking Sanda. And, he being so willfully naive that he decided to still help her out after that. Because he thinks she has a crush on him. Because deep down he has a crush on her. And then she asked him for his eraser, which he also gave her. And lastly, he has to wear something red on the same day. And because Sanda doesn't want to put on his red track jacket, Fuyumura just stabs him, because technically that means he is wearing something red because of his bloodied shirt.
Jesus Christ.
And of course, Fuyumura did all this because she thinks the powers of Santa Claus she intended to awaken in Sanda by removing the curse would help her find her best friend Ono, who rather went missing than being actually found dead. And Ono was also the only person in the school still keeping the Christmas tradition alive and giving presents to Fuyumura and everything. And they were like besties and everything. So, of course, she's super distraught that she disappeared and nobody seems to actually be intent to actually search for her anymore. But yeah, that's what was her intention. So, of course, Fuyumura freaks out when Sanda just seems to bleed out on the floor and doesn't turn into Santa Claus. Quite the gamble there, Fuyumura.
No kidding.
But yeah, thankfully she was dead on. And Sanda transforms into a super buff Santa Claus and promises her to help her find Ono. But, with that come their own sets of problems. Like Sanda is worried that he can't transform back into his youthful self. But a couple of helpings of his favorite comfort, junk food, bratty beans, help him do exactly that. So this show is also learning about his abilities, because even though Fuyumura is pretty sure that, Santa Claus has amazing powers and everything and can help her finding Ono, she doesn't actually know what his powers are. So the next episode is probably going to consist of her testing Sanda with bullshit and then trying to find out what his powers for, because the next thing she does, this girl has no chill, is she hides a bomb in the classroom to threaten the lives of all the students and get Sanda properly motivated to showcase some of his powers. Sanda transforms into Santa once more by putting on his red track jacket, and then pretends to be a terrorist to get everyone but Fuyumura out of the classroom, who he holds hostage, or pretends to hold hostage, to look for the bomb. She has it on her, so the gamble was again on her part. And it still blows up, but, he ripped it from her and everything. And it turns out Santa is impervious to fire. Of course, he would be, because Santa has to be able to go through any chimney, even lit ones. So that makes sense. Makes absolutely sense.
Actually, it does.
Yeah.
I hate that it does.
But yeah, so it's a super wacky show. It's a bit of a mystery show, probably because of the Ono stuff and everything. And I don't know if it will turn into a full-blown shonen thing, or it's gonna be a romance between Sanda and Fuyumura, like Dan is between our two main characters and everything. But it's like a fan constellation. Like, Sanda is a bit of a whiny guy, but he's also really fun. And he's not, aside from being a bit naive, because, he's a crush on Fuyumura and everything, he seems to also not be a dumbass. Completely anyway. And as expected from a Science Saru show, it has a great visual style, very sketchbook-esque, with a lot of thick, sharp black outlines, very nice color work, especially in Sanda's first transformation sequence, where everything is black and white except for the red blood stain on his chest wound and everything. Yeah, so far, very promising, fun, manic show. It's
It sounds like it.
It's fucking crazy, but I'm looking forward to more. Like, I had a really good time with the first episode. The music is fantastic, the look is fantastic, and the characters are hilarious and stupid and crazy. Like, fucking Fuyumura is a full-blown psychopath, but in a fun way. So we'll see where these two goes. The OP and ED.
Yes, in the fun way.
Yes. But yeah, the OP and ED look great too, so I had a lot of fun with this show. So I'm looking forward to more, definitely. And the last keeper is, of course, what else could it be but the final season of My Hero Academia. Which is happening at the moment, and it's picking up right back where the last season ended. Like, not the usual, hey, get reacquainted with the million characters in this show. It's just like, nope. We ended on the confrontation between All Might and All For One. Like, they have this Dark Knight Returns fight because All Might is now, quirkless, and he switches between a bunch of different armor, equipment, and weapons that is shot up from his car, and just, he equips it on the fly and unequips it on the fly. And all of that equipment mimics the abilities of his A1 students. So it's like his students are fighting together with him against All For one last time. And it's like the positive mirror to All For One's quirk stealing abilities. That's really cool. And meanwhile, we have Toro, the invisible girl, increasing the power of Aoyama's naval laser by reflecting it and blasting away a weird flower villain guy at the same time as All Might uses a weapon styled after Aoyama's laser on All For One. It's just really, really nice, like, culmination of the stuff built up, set up in the previous season and everything, and previous seasons. And it really feels like, okay, we're at the end game, people, and everything is coming together and everything. So I'm glad I get the feeling from this, or that's the feeling I'm getting from this, and it doesn't feel like, oh god, what are they doing? Which, happened when we watched Fire Force Season 3. This definitely feels like they're going the path that they laid out for this show, and it's very hype. It's a fun time. I'm looking forward to more, and the animation is good, of course, because of Bones and everything, and yeah, so I'm gonna watch this. Of course, John jumped ship a while ago, but I'm gonna at least do a quick review of this. And I don't know if this is going to be a 2-core thing or if we're gonna have like 24 episodes or 26 episodes all the way through. I didn't look that up. But yeah, so far it's a blast. And I assume we're going to get another nice, like, something I won't spoil here, but there's a nice cameo, a clutch cameo at the end of the first episode as well. And it's really cool. So, yeah, definitely gonna watch the final season of My Hero Academia. No doubt about it. And with that, we're at the end of the sneak peek, and we're gonna head into our first review from summer season.
Right, so Sakamoto Days really just kind of hit the ground running where we left off. There were these three assassins. That were, it was 4, right?
Dump, Part, Minimalist, and Saw.
Can't believe someone would willingly take the name Dump, but okay.
They're death row convicts, so whatever.
Yeah. So I think, as I recall, they were dispatched by Slur, and then they're about to just go around just targeting any and all assassins they can. But the others are trying to start investigating Slur himself. The Order is out there trying to hunt down all these guys. I think at this point they know they're around, but they don't know where they are or who they are.
I mean, they're first, like, they get the order to kill the death row convicts, right? Because they're like, okay, these are after the members of our assassin society, whatever. And I don't know if they know that they're part of Slur's plan or whatever. But it's like, hey, we're gonna take those guys out because they're definitely here to stir up shit, and they've already killed some of our people or whatever. And on that list of assassins that the death row convicts are supposed to kill is, of course, also Sakamoto and Shin. Is Lou on there too? Yeah, right. Because they all get a ranking, and Shin has a lower ranking than Lou. Which,
amazing that that's the case, but
yes, I was surprised by that. I mean, considering what she does when they fight Saw, right at the end, where she like drinks ethanol. Don't drink ethanol, Lou. That shit can make you blind.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
They get into a huge fracas with Saw at a hardware store. Lou drinks questionable substances. And Shin unlocks a new power. It's like a new level of his future sight where he can just predict people's movements without having to read their thoughts.
Yes, but it has a downside. Like, it puts an immense strain on his body, so he can like only use it for 5 minutes per day. Yeah. So that's a problem, and so he can't beat Saw on his own, who's like this fucking weirdo with. His name is Saw, but he's using an axe to fight, which I was like, what?
Yeah,
why not called axe?
Shut up! Don't worry about it.
I didn't get it.
Could have even. They're in a hardware store. Don't you think you could? Okay.
Yes, I mean, maybe that's all the reference we're getting, but yeah. And Lou, once she drinks pure alcohol than normal alcohol, she becomes like this gangster. The gangster drunk. The mafia drunk.
The master of the drunken fist manifests in multiple ways, apparently.
I mean, her mafia drunk form is super fun, right? And her hair opens up and everything, and she kicks major ass in the way she chases after Saw and everything. It's really cool. Really funny. This also is like the setup for Shin's arc for the season. Like, he wants to become stronger to not be a burden to Sakamoto and not always have to rely on him and everything. That is like his main goal for this season. Which leads to this funny scene in the first episode where he's trying to stay focused and not reacting to the cute dog, which he totally fails at. Yeah, that's relatable.
It is what it is.
That's just me. Shit is just me in that scene. Like, so fuck, making fun of Lou because she's so. I would never do that, but he's making fun of Lou because she's so attached to the cats in the store and wants to stay longer. And then he just that one clerk presents him with the cutest Shiba Inu puppy or whatever, and he just can't. He just resigns himself to just petting that dog and playing with it. So that was very cute. But yeah. They dispose of Saw. Well, not technically not. He runs away, but then he is so unlucky, and the cab he hijacks has one of the other members in it that we haven't been acquainted with yet before this season. It was one of the two that was missing, and that was Hyo. And yeah, he's a legit one-punch man.
He's a big old bruiser.
Yeah, he kills Saw with one punch. But he's also a nicer guy than expected, right? There's the scene later in the hospital where he is talking to Sakamoto, and he's like, "Hey, I don't want you to get you involved in this. What would your daughter and your mother do without you? Your daughter and your wife do without you?" And
yeah, he's brash, but considerate.
Yes, he's surprisingly considerate. That was cool, like giving, because he always looked like this stone cold hard bruiser and everything, and then learning he has this other side to him is very nice. So Saw is disposed of, and the next one getting disposed of is Dump, who's like this chick that can like. What is it? What she can grow out of her body? Is it just these iron bars, or what is that?
I think that's kind of what it was. Yeah, it was not quite clear where they were coming from, but like, I guess something having to deal with prosthetics.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she was wearing prosthetics or if it's just a superpower. Because there are people with superpowers in this universe. Shin can read minds, so. Why not have her be like this weird character who can grow iron bars out of her arms and chest and whatever, and impale people with it? So yeah, she's crazy, and I think she and one of the other assassins, we get actually a bit of flashback background of like 2 minutes or whatever. See that she was always like she was interested in getting close to people, but that turned into her killing everyone and then losing interest right after that or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, like this weird level of obsession, but in order to get to know people better, she for some reason had to kill them, which counterproductive, but sure, all right. I see where you're coming from. I don't see where you're coming from.
And her bad luck is she runs into Osaragi.
And she gets chopped to pieces.
Yes, with her handy. First she gets pummeled. Holy shit! Like, don't fuck with Osaragi. Like,
yeah,
damn, that came out of nowhere. I mean, we all knew she was strong because she's in the order, and they're the most elite kind of killers that are out there. But goddamn, she kicked so much ass in that scene. It was amazing. In general, like, again, I'm surprised at the animation level of this show, considering, TMS is good, but this is probably the best looking show I've seen of theirs animation-wise since Lupin Part 5? Probably.
Yeah.
So, really good stuff, and the fight was definitely a standout. Like, all the fights in this season are great. The best one coming a bit later, I'm going to talk about a bit later, but oh, it's crazy. And her banter with Shishiba is fun. There's also this background, this after credit scene where they go out to a festival and eat a bunch of different foods, and Shishiba just fucking, he always has the short end of the stick when it comes to consuming the food that he wants to consume.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a fun time. She's a fun character, he's a fun character. Together they're amazing. And we learned that the Order, or the Japanese Association of Assassins, DJA, has a cleanup crew, because of course they would have, and they're called the Floaters. All right, weird name choice again.
Don't think about it too hard. It's fine.
But yeah, we learn more about this universe and everything, and we see the villains from Slur again. One of the characters, like Apart, who is this weirdo who uses strings to kill people, and he also has a not so mild case of OCD. Like, he has to arrange the parts of his victims in neat little symmetrical pieces and can't tolerate the book missing from a bookshelf, so much so that he has to buy that volume from a store and put it in that bookshelf.
I thought that was kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, it was. It was super funny.
I mean, but a part kind of finds out that Slur has just been using all of them. So he chops Kashima apart, but, that
doesn't really do much to that guy.
It's like the Black Knight in Monty Python. It's just a minor setback.
Yeah, he just gets dismembered and then put together again. Because he's a cyborg, whatever. And but I also liked in this season to see more of Slur and them just hanging out and just being, I don't know, goofs on occasion, like, and with each other and talking like normal people to each other and everything. Like, you didn't really get that from them last season that much, and it just seemed like creepy killers. But in this, they're like, I don't know, they hang out at karaoke. We later learn why they do that, but it's I don't know. And then there's a thing at the tail end of the season that is pretty funny with them. But
to be fair, we only saw Slur like pretty much in passing in season 1.
Yes.
But we saw Kashima a bit more, but now we actually have a name to put with him, and others, and some other minor details that might play into the story later on.
Yeah.
There's the team is still trying to figure that out. So,
I mean, we always use Slur as for the organization and the character interchangeable, but Slur is the guy who is, for some reason, having a grudge against the JAA, and also Sakamoto especially, apparently. And the latter, we haven't really learned why yet, but we learn about what his mission is, and like you said, what his real name is. And that's coming kind of in the middle of the season. Like, first, almost all of the death row convicts get disposed of. The first 2 we talked about, but then we also have Minimalist, right? Who is going directly into the store of Sakamoto, and it looks like he's gonna kill whatever Sakamoto's wife. And I should have known that Naguma would be posing as Aoi, but it really caught me off guard. I don't know.
It's like, wait a second, huh?
Yeah. I was really like, oh my god, what is this? He's actually choking, or what's happening? And then you see what she does to the guy, and like, oh, what? Wait a minute. Did Sakamoto train her? Oh no, it's Naguma. Of course. You have a character in this show who can change his own face and other people's faces and body, as we later learn at the very end of this season. I should have expected this, but Naguma is one of the most fun characters in the show because he's such a fucking shitbag.
He's very lax, but he's good at what he does.
He's super good at what he does. He just likes to, I don't know. He likes to trigger people. He likes to egg them on.
Likes to push people's buttons.
He loves pushing people's buttons, absolutely, and he's doing that in a fun way most of the time. So I'm always happy when he's on screen because he's super fun and funny. And yeah, we also get introduced to the show's own healing granny, Mia, who is a spry 98 years old, who can apparently heal pretty much everything, which in a show where people get constantly chopped to bits, hurt, and whatever, you need a person like that, right? So we got that. We got our all-purpose healer now, so that's cool. And from her, we learned that in his fat state, Sakamoto has only 30% of his power the power he had in his prime, which is still impressive, considering what he does.
What would 100% look like then? I mean, we've kind of seen glimpses of that, but not anymore, apparently.
Yeah, she locks that. I don't know. Is it clear why she did that? For what reason? Just to get him more acquainted with his fat body while he fights or whatever?
Yeah, he sort of has an internal monologue where he's like, oh, I think Mia wanted me to just learn at full learn how to fight at full power with this body. So he just goes for it, and
And
I guess that's how he's going to be moving forward.
Yeah, and Sakamoto ends up fighting apart. Well, first Heisuke fights him which I don't know. He didn't think that through, I feel like.
No.
Was very much in danger. Although I also always like when Heisuke is on screen because he's super funny as well. There's
like my brother, you are a sniper. You are not built for CQC.
Absolutely not. But, it's always fun to have Heisuke around and see him take part in the battles. There's also this nice after credit scene later in the season where he just comes across money for once, and instead of using it all for himself, he actually treats the other guys to some food. That's really nice. Shows that he's a really cool person. He starts fighting apart, but is in over his head, and then Sakamoto saves the day and fights him on the Tokyo Tower, which is
more like the leaning Tokyo Tower.
It becomes a pizza situation, and it's a fun battle, absolutely, and that's also not the first time, but this season we also, aside from Hyo, the other person we see in action from the Order for the first time is Takamura, the old guy with the sword. And he has much less chill than expected. Like, the first thing we see of him is like he's deroofing the camper of the Order just to kill a fly with his sword. He's mumbling all the time and nobody understands what he's saying. And then he also appears in this scene and manages to stop the tower from keeling over completely by slicing one of its pillars in the right way. And then once we learn what Slur's plan is, which is actually to invade the headquarters of the JA, he is the one who fights one of their members, Gaku. Were we introduced to Gaku in the previous season? Was he in that?
I think we saw him briefly.
Okay, but yeah, he's like this giant ass hammer or whatever, and then Takamura gets into the building or walks into the building, and shit gets absolutely serious. It like escalates super quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like that fight was fucking amazing. When he just blocks Gaku's attack and then just slices the entire floor of that building in half or something like that. It just looks so sick. That was one of the moments where like, TMS, holy shit, you're delivering the goods.
Takamura is not a slouch.
No, absolutely not. And there's like this moment in the second stage of the fight where he opens the door by gently cutting through it to push down the handle with his sword, which is like this ingenious little detail. It looked so creepy and cool, and I loved it. I thought just this whole fight against Slur, Gaku, and the guy, the other guy of theirs, Uda, at the top of the JA building, or one of the upper floors, was fucking amazing. Because of Sakamoto also joins the fight, of course. Apart is also helping out because he kind of converts over to the side of our heroes for some reason, because they actually, I don't know what his reason actually was. Because they felt him like he belonged somewhere finally, right? Because that was his thing that he had a problem with, like he couldn't really get to know people really. Yeah, with kind of a similar obsession like Dump, but in a different way. Just trying to understand people because he wasn't able to understand himself, and his dad got scared of him. I think we got the most background info on him. Like the flashback of his was rather lengthy.
Yeah, because they beat him unconscious, take him back to Sakamoto's, and he's like, "Why didn't you guys kill me?" He's like, "Well, that's not what we do." And he's like, I think he just sort of was like, "Oh, okay,
that's an option."
That you can do that? Oh, thanks. I can give you info. And it was like, oh, all right. Yeah, now he's one of the good question mark guys.
Well, yeah. We'll see how much he will be part of future fights because he gets his arm cut off.
Yeah.
And he kind of needs both his arms for using, his weapon and everything. So we'll see. what he does. Maybe he gets a prosthesis or whatever. Maybe he also becomes a cyborg like Kashima. Who knows? But yeah, so Sakamoto joined the fight. They just jump to a window, and Sakamoto finally sees Slur, because so far only Shin has seen him. And I think Sakamoto has had his suspicions, but now he has confirmed it, that Slur is actually a guy called Uzuki, who apparently was part of the same assassin school that Sakamoto went to and Nagumo went to. Like Nagumo, Sakamoto, and one other person, which we'll talk about later, were this tight friends group. And it feels like Uzuki wasn't with them and wasn't one of the super popular, whatever, powerful, hopeful assassin students or whatever, but he was with them at the same time. And we haven't been filled in yet what the thing is that has him being so obsessed with Sakamoto. It is hinted at that Sakamoto at one point had to kill him, and apparently, as we can see, obviously didn't succeed. But we don't know what exactly happened there yet. Like, if Sakamoto decided not to kill him for some reason, if he didn't, if he fucked up or whatever, that hasn't been made super clear yet. So that's something that we're probably going to get into season 3 or whatever. And the show always manages to surprise me with its level of violence, and because there's so much blood happening in this in this particular fight. Like, Gaku gets his finger cut off by Takamura, then a part gets his arm cut off by, I don't even know, by Slur, I think, who is like super fast. And then I think Gaku also gets his arm cut off by Takamura when Takamura joins the fight at the upper floor and whatever. Like, considering that I expected the show to be more of a sitcom and having all the fights take place in the store or whatever, like my initial idea about the story about this show was, this is really much more violent than I expected. Like, people's heads getting cut off left and right, and them being completely dismembered into little tiny pieces. It's crazy.
You can get away with that being on a streaming service and not network TV. Yeah,
I guess. I wonder if it's as explicit in the manga. I haven't looked at it.
That's a good question. I don't think it would be too far-fetched to say, they're probably taking some liberties, but
maybe, to make it a more suitable format for anime, and more entertaining in terms of fights and everything. And the fights are great in this. Like, they're really exciting, and the choreography is cool and everything. And we have, again, a cool multi-stage fight at the end of this season that is really fun. And yeah, it's just a blast. Like, I didn't expect to get that much good action out of this show. And TMS is really doing really good work here. But yeah, Uda blows himself up to let Gaku and Slur escape. And with that attack on the JAA headquarters, like 176 members of theirs were killed.
Yeah, there was a lot of...
Yeah, since Slur became active, the number of hitmen in Japan has apparently been reduced to a quarter of its former number, which is crazy. Those guys have been working.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, another schoolmate is mentioned of Nagumo and Sakamoto's, Akao, which we haven't met her yet. But, she becomes kind of important in the latter half of the season for a specific reason. And to learn more about Slur, Sakamoto and Shin decide to enroll as students in the JCC because they apparently have like this very comprehensive database. Like, at the beginning of the season, they went again to the Killer Intel Blockbuster video store, where so far they got
store informant.
Yeah, where they got all their information so far, but apparently that doesn't cut it for Slur anymore. For that, they need the JCC data bank, so they decide to enroll in students. Also, fun thing to spot in the scene at the beginning of the season where they go to the video store are the movie titles on the shelf. Human Lizard, Don't Please, Sleepy Fish, Mad Somar, The Silence of the Goats, and Technical Chainsaw Massacre. Were only some of them.
Oh my god, I missed that entirely. I have to go back and look at that again.
There were a couple more, but they were not all subtitled, so didn't have all English titles. So I didn't catch all of them. But those were the ones that were in there.
Technical Chainsaw.
It was super fun. So I bet there's a lot more even in the previous season that you could catch there if you look hard at those scenes. They had a lot of fun with this. So yeah, they roll into JCC, or they get enrolled in JCC because apparently, even though it's an assassin school, there is no age limit on becoming an assassin. You can do it whenever. So Sakamoto can also technically play.
It's basically like college, so anyone can go to college.
Yeah, and apparently only 1 out of 40 contestants, students who are enrolled, passed the entry exam for the transfer exam that they're doing. And suddenly, this show turns into the goddamn Hunter exam from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, a little bit. now do you know what I meant when I was going by Con Air?
Yeah. Con Air, Assassination Classroom, Hunter x Hunter. It could be any one of these, I guess. Was really weird and funny. Because they're on the plane and everyone has to get instructed to steal like these bullets from hidden test examiners that are on the plane, which is very Hunter x Hunter coded. And yeah, then we get introduced to a couple of new characters here. Most important one, or one of the most important ones, probably like this germaphobe guy called Mafuyu, who is 14. And I'm 25. All right, show. Shut the fuck up.
Don't worry about it.
No, wait, that guy is 14. What the fuck? It's so stupid. But
listen, it's fine. It's fine. How old is Shin? Shut up.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mafuyu's fight against Shin is pretty damn sick. Like, there's a really cool camera, really cool tracking shot when they fight against each other in the aisles of the plane, and Shin has to slide through different rows of seats and everything to escape Mafuyu's attacks and everything. So that's pretty damn awesome. And their styles and personalities clash all the time because they're diametrically opposed in a way. Like Mafuyu is like this fucking young Zoomer Insta guy or TikTok guy, and they start talking about movies when another character appears, like Kanaguri, who's like this assassin who's also a director who's obsessed with movies and is trying to shoot a new movie all the time while he's killing people. And they get to talk about movies, and Mafuyu has like this shitty opinions, like fuck movies, they're too long and everything. Like, get out of my show. I don't condone your fucking opinion. And Shin is of the same opinion as I am, so he's just majorly pissed off by everything Mafuyu is saying. But it's fun. It's like them bickering all the time, but Mafuyu, for some reason, still being attached to Shin. He's treating him like a big brother character or whatever all of a sudden, or like a classmate he just met and he wants to be friends with. Because that's kind of why Mafuyu is there, apparently. I think his big brother is already in the school or something, or one of his friends, and the only reason why he enrolled is because he wants to experience like school life as an assassin.
Didn't go to school.
Yeah, I guess he can't go to normal school because he is a weird sociopath. But it's funny. Like, he's like, man, I want to go to parties and I want to hang out and want to have like these festivals that you have during high school and excursions and whatever.
But you're also this weirdo germaphobe, and it's
yes,
brother,
he is that
brother. Everything you want is at odds with each other.
He has a lot going on. But he and Shin clash, and then we have on the other side of things, we have Sakamoto making friends with a girl called Akira, who doesn't seem at first glance to be assassin material. But as we later learn, she is the niece of the other former classmate of Sakamoto's Akao. So she has maybe assassin in her DNA, but also, she just got taught by her aunt and is looking for her. That's why she enrolled in the school, because she wants to find ways to find her aunt. Or I don't even know if she expects her to be there, but I think she apparently thinks that this is the best way to find her aunt. And
maybe she'd be able to find information in the JCC archives.
Yeah, maybe just like the same thing as Shin and Sakamoto are there to do, just looking into this big old archives. And she comes in handy very quickly, because Kanaguri, the director guy, blows up the plane to get an interesting scene for his movie.
So stupid.
But it's amazing. It's like, well, this is too boring. Okay, let's do this. But he pulls us this fucking laser camera, that just bazooka camera that blows a hole into the plane, and everyone gets sucked out of the plane, and then they all fall to their death technically, even though they're over water and everything. But Akira can sew very quickly. In general, as we later learn, she can move super quickly. She has like this hidden killer mode or whatever. She moves like, she can see where she needs to attack people to kill them, right? Like immediately. She sees like a path, the best path to take, which is also kind of like, not necessarily like mind reading, the thing that Shin does, but she knows if people move a certain way, she knows what the best way is to evade them and attack them. A bit of like, I don't know, precog maybe, or hyper reaction or whatever she's able to do, hyper reflexes. They linken it to her being able to move like a butterfly, because she can read the wind like butterflies can or whatever, right? And she can read the best way to kill people or whatever. But in this situation, she just sews together a bunch of shirts and the apron of Sakamoto or whatever, and they get a giant parachute, and Sakamoto, Shin, Mafuyu, she, and this comedic relief character, Kill Baby, are saved by this. So,
first off, what a name. Second off, who?
Literally who?
Every time it's like, yeah, we did it. Who are you? What?
Yeah, he's the running gag of the second half of the season, and but he kind of like, he appreciates being around with the people. He even is like, when Sakamoto and Akira are like drying themselves off and having like camping food, cooking, whatever, he's like, you guys are not professional enough. What is happening here? I can understand his frustration in a way. They don't behave appropriately to the situation, I guess. Although sustenance is important, so I guess. I also like that the examiners, who kind of seem a bit also in over their heads. Like when Kanaguri suddenly blows up the plane, they're like, oh fuck, what are we going to do now?
They're just sort of like, well, this wasn't part of the plan. Wing it, I guess.
Yes, exactly, wing it. So we're going to just pretend this us falling to our certain deaths is the second part of this exam. And it just moving right along. And then the third quote-unquote part is that they're playing this game of tail tag, where they have like these pieces of cloth or whatever hanging out on the back of their pants, and they're all different colors. They have like different teams, and everyone has to grab a color from a different team. And if you have all colors, you succeed, or enough different colors, then you own and don't lose all of your pieces. Then you win this contest. And Shin and Sakamoto are on different tail tag teams, which is interesting. And Shin, again, wants to stand on his own 2 feet, so he wants Sakamoto to treat him like an enemy in the exam. And I love that this seems to upset Sakamoto, because he liked being Shin's teacher and Shin looking up to him and everything.
He's so sad.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, I felt sorry for him, but it was also kind of cute. It was like, hey, he really, really... he always felt... I mean, you understand, you feel that he cares for Shin, most definitely, but that was one of the rare moments where you actually see that he was really happy to have him under his wing back when he was still a full-blown assassin, like having this protege that looked up to him, right? And it was nice seeing that. And him like, oh man, he's trying to grow out of my shadow, but I like being his teacher. It was nice. It was really nice. It's always nice to get a bit more of a glimpse into Sakamoto's inner workings, because we don't really get that much. I mean, he's more talkative in this season than he was in the previous one, I feel like.
Yeah, a little bit.
Slur even comments on that. He's like, I don't remember you being that talkative. And yeah, he definitely talks more in this, but still, we don't get much that information on his inner workings. We definitely are more in Shin's head and some of the other characters than we are in Sakamoto's. Sakamoto's just like the action man who appears on the scenes and resolves the situation, usually with his fists. And yeah, they have this contest, and there's this girl with a really weird haircut that is a Sakamoto fangirl. Toramaru, I think is her name. Mm-hmm. I think she colored her hair because she's white, at least the pigtails, because Sakamoto's hair is white and everything, and she carries that doll around with her. And yeah, she's full-blown fangirl, and when she realizes that Shin also likes Sakamoto, looks up to him, she doesn't realize that Sakamoto is with them, because she knows the old Sakamoto, the slim Sakamoto. She doesn't realize that is him. And she's super pissed that Shin assumes he knows more about Sakamoto, which he does, because he has...
Yeah, I was going to say, sort of does.
Yeah, because he has met the real one. He's worked with the real one, and she just is going off on an idealized version of Sakamoto. So, of course, they clash and everything, and it's fun. It's super fun. I expected it to go a bit longer with just this particular contest part, but they quickly shift over. Like, the pacing of this show is kind of amazing. It's like when you think, oh yeah, this is gonna take up a couple of episodes. Like, nope, we have another surprise for you, because the show already hinted at that the Slur gang was trying to recruit new members after losing a couple, right? And, all the death row convicts and dying and everything. And Slur is like, hey, I need a couple more pawns. We need to, maybe we should look for the younger generation. And apparently they recruited one guy during karaoke. And now Gaku is controlling that guy with VR tech.
Weird, but okay.
Yeah, sure. If that's how it works. And they're doing all of that to look in that contest, in this transfer exam, to look for promising new killers that they can use for their main goal, which apparently is to take down the entirety of the JAA, right? That seems to be Slur's end game, aside from the Sakamoto stuff, which we don't really know about much yet. He always talks about starting a new, fairer world or whatever. I assume he has some grudge because he wanted to be the top assassin and couldn't hack it, and because, I don't know, the system was rigged in the JAA, and now he wants to just wipe the slate clean and have everyone be judged by their performance in the real world. Something like that's probably gonna happen, and Sakamoto probably also was a roadblock to that. We'll see. But yeah, to achieve that, they're trying to recruit new members and to find new members, which is not super easy if you don't go through the official channels of the JAA. They hijack this exam and stage a fight between Gaku, or the guy he controls, and a bunch of different other characters. Like that whole multi-stage fight between Shin, Kaji, poor Kaji, and later Sakamoto against VR Gaku is fucking incredible. Like, great animation, very funny bits like Gaku on the floor dry swimming, and cool shit like Sakamoto's name in the lyrics of the song playing in the finale. That was hell yes material. I really liked it. I mean, that was Yuki Hayashi at its best in terms of soundtrack, and I said in the first season, I feel like using him as a composer is maybe a weird choice, because, hey, it's still assassins killing a bunch of people, and that Yuki Hayashi is the guy for the heroic battle hymns, like for the cool heroes have arrived on the scene. And
But they are heroes because they're the good guys beating up the bad guys.
Technically, yes, I guess. It's still funny to me, but it definitely leads to amazing musical moments. So I can't complain about it. And it's really fun. And also, speaking of fun things related to music and animation, how good is that OP? Right?
It's a banger. It's pretty hot.
Fucking amazing. Also, I love the moment at the very end of the OP where Sakamoto grabs a piece of the credits to slam it into the assassin's bunny face and then put it into his pocket.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love when OPs do interactive shit like that. That is pretty rare, right? That the credits get actually incorporated. I mean, style-wise, visually-wise, yes, they often get very much like put in on buildings or part of the scenery or whatever. But that's a character's actually grabbing part of the credits and doing something with it. It was fucking amazing. I was like, oh shit, you rarely see this. This is great. This is fantastic. And it looked super cool too. Like that OP looks amazing, sound amazing. Like who did that song?
Croy.
Okay. I need to look into them because I really liked that song. I thought that was just super chill and a good time. And I mean, I already loved the first OP of this show, but I think I like the second even more.
Yeah, same. So. I kind of liked the part of the ending theme where, it's, a bit more downbeat, but you can hear at the end of the song, like the sound of like a railway signal go off. And it's like, and that sort of, shows, this is supposed to be a little more quiet, a little more peaceful. You can hear that off in the distance sort of thing. I don't know. I just really liked that.
Yeah, really neat. Just incredibly well produced show in all aspects. Absolute banger, left and right. And yeah, after they beat the guy that is controlled by Gaku and he logs out and whatever, and they learn that he was controlled by them and everything.
It's interesting because Kaji is kind of sort of able to intuit that a little bit, but he's not certain about it.
Yeah, because he can hear the other side of whatever is coming through the VR headset, right? Because he has this amazing hearing. So he can hear what Kashima and Gaku talk about on the other side of the line of what is happening in the earphones of Shinaya is wearing. Yeah. So that was neat.
I mean, that whole fight sequence was cool, but I'm still sort of like confused. Like, so I guess Shinaya was asleep the whole time.
Yeah. Yes, he was under hypnosis or something like that. And probably got suggestions, both audio and then also controlled via the VR tech, because it only worked when Gaku put the glasses on and everything, and apparently he could just use him like a doll in that way.
Yeah.
So
still a little strange to me, but it's fine because it was a cool fight.
Yes. It's one of those where it's like, if you think too hard about it doesn't make any lick of sense, but this is also like a wacky, stupid comedy show, so don't worry about it.
Because I was like, I guess they're doing like brain control, but
yeah,
is Shinaya supposed to be like a robot or something? Because I feel like that would have made more sense. But no, I guess he's a human after all. Like what? Oh, all right, I'm stopping here.
Yeah, some kind of hypnosis, whatever, mind control through VR headset thing is going on there. But yeah, Toramaru can't handle realizing that her idol got fat, and her apparently being more superficial than she thought because his weight actually bothers her. A real crisis of faith. And yeah, she and Mafuyu get forcefully recruited by Slur by being abducted in the helicopter that they're taken in. By Kanaguri, who is apparently also working for Slur now, all while being a double agent in the Order. Wonder whose side he's actually going to turn out to be on when all the cards have fallen or whatever. And another guy, Carolina Reaper or whatever, right? And then we meet even another person when we get to the headquarters of Slur. So, and yeah, that's probably gonna happen. They're gonna make Mafuyu and Toramaru fighting for them in the next season, maybe. So that's gonna be interesting. Probably gonna have a second square off between Shin and Mafuyu.
So they didn't seem too keen on working for them, but I guess we'll see how that plays out.
Don't think they have a choice.
Yeah.
There's probably either they do it or they get killed or they get also mind controlled via the VR thing or something. So we'll see. Something like that is going to happen. I doubt they can just nope out. The one thing I was a bit on in this season is like before the very end of the last episode, I was like, man, it's a bit of a shame that Aoi and Hana are barely in the season. I mean, I get it, plot reasons, but considering how integral they are to why Sakamoto is the way he is right now and why he's doing what he's doing, I feel they should have a bigger part in this story. And I was like, maybe next season. And I mean, I'm kind of getting my wish, but it's a bit of a monkey's paw situation.
It's a little...
Yeah, so Shin passes the exam with flying colors, but to everyone's surprise, Sakamoto fails. Turns out it's due to the bounty on his head. But with the help of a big facelift courtesy of Nagumo, he will now pose as a teacher in the form of his own wife.
Almost like it could have done that to begin with. Oops.
I mean, I can understand why he didn't want to. That's gonna be the next season. That's gonna be really interesting. We're gonna see not Aoi beating up a lot of people. And then them investigating, trying to find the archives and trying to find out more things about Slur and everything. All the things have been lined up. We'll see. But yeah, lots going on in this season, I guess. Breakneck pace, never boring, super entertaining show, great fights, great animation, great soundtrack. I don't know, John. I had a good time. How about you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think my only misgiving was that shows that have been getting simul-dubbed, I've been wanting to, see how the dubs sound as well.
Yeah.
Stick with the Japanese for this show. Like, again, I've said this before, I don't want to put it on the actors. I think it's like some weird direction issue with this show where it just... the delivery and the line reads are like, they're not awful, but it's like, I think you could have given that another take, maybe. So, like, we mentioned Ranma in the sneak peek earlier, and I started watching the current season dub just to see how it is. And the dub of that is great. Like, the characters are, all really believable and inflecting well. And in this show, it's like, I'm not quite sure what went on, but everything else awesome, top to bottom. Watch this show.
I wonder if it's like newish or inexperienced actors, or if it's the voice direction that is to blame here.
I mean, because as I recall, there are some veteran English voice actors in here, so I don't know, man. Like, Sakamoto is voiced by Matthew Mercer.
That's a name.
and Nagumo is voiced by Alex Lay, so...
so probably the voice direction then.
There are names on this show, so... Like, Shin, like, a lot of his reads are like...
Weird. I mean, there's still always the Japanese, right? And... yeah. You can go that, but it's a shame. Like, it would be nice if this was on the same high quality level as maybe, I don't know, Ranma or Witch from Mercury or whatever. Not Witch from Mercury, G-Quax, which you said was really good in the dub department.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been trying to check out more dubs on and off lately because I personally feel like, and I know there are people who disagree with me because all dubs are bad. I feel like the general quality of dubs has gone up since like the early aughts probably, and that's a long time. It's been, if you want to go by like 20, 25 years, but dubs have gotten better. But weird. Obviously for some people the sub will always be king, and with some shows, I would say sure, but
I would say it's like it's funny because I feel like in Germany it's like exactly the opposite development. I think dubs have gotten, I haven't seen that many dubs, but everything I've seen over the past years, I feel like the dubs gotten worse and worse and are at best serviceable, at least when it comes to...
You said Monsters was decent.
Monster is very solid, but also that has problems. To be fair, Monster has a giant cast. and you can't have great actors for all the side characters. I understand that, but there are still moments in there that feel stiff and a bit wonky in terms of translation because it's too direct in terms of voice direction, where I feel like character wouldn't talk like that in this situation. This doesn't sound realistic, and Monster is not an anime where it's like people yelling all the time. It's a very grounded, realistic crime thriller drama, and I would expect it to sound, in terms of a dub, like a normal crime procedural that is running on German TV, right? At least American one that is dubbed properly, and it just doesn't. It sometimes sounds too stiff. I still like the dub. I feel like it's serviceable. It's okay. But back in the day when there was, like, when anime was running, and I mean, still, but, you know, some of the stuff that was running in my late childhood on German TV in terms of dub was just really good in terms of dub quality. Like the stuff running on the German branch of MTV. For example, Lupin. We had a lot of the Lupin specials running there. The dub was incredible. We had Cowboy Bebop running there. The dub was incredible. The dub for Dragon Ball Z, while starting out a bit shaky, got really good later on. I think like even Dragon Ball proper started out pretty shaky and got really good later on around the stuff, time Tenshin Han got introduced that arc, right? And Piccolo and so on. The scripts got much better, much leaner, and the translation felt more fluid and everything, and more like it was matching what was happening on screen and everything, and matched the emotions of the characters. And that phase, like, of German dubs, that was like the peak, I would say. Maybe even earlier was better when we still had anime running as cartoons and not as anime. Like this dub for Saber Rider was incredible. It was a joke dub because they inserted a lot of fucking puns and everything, but it was really good and really funny, and it had a lot of seasoned voice actors and really good voice direction and translation and everything. So that was the high watermark in terms of good German dubs, and I feel like with all of them all of the shows having to become dubbed faster and faster, and not being enough time to actually put thought into the translation and everything, or enough thought and into the voice direction, has really reduced the quality. And I even partially see that in some Hollywood movies, where I feel like some of these voice talents, first of all, are not as good as the seasoned ones from, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. And some of the dialogue direction is just not as good. It's not up to par. And, that's why I stopped watching anime with German dub. And Monster is the exception because that anime is set in Germany. So, long tangent on German dubs that nobody who's listening to this, because we probably mostly have English-speaking listeners, will care about. But still, just to show you that in Germany, I feel like it's the opposite direction. But also maybe I should give a look at some of the dub that is, or some of the shows that from current seasons that are being simul-dubbed over here. Since you made an effort to do that, John, maybe I should do that too, just to see if maybe some of those also. There was like 1 or 2 dub studios in Germany here that were delivering persistently good dubs. They did the dub for Vampire D, they did the dub for Wolf's Rain, they did the dub for X, the TV series. And all of those dubs were really good. And I wonder if they're still around. And I wonder if they're still doing projects. If they are still around, those anime might have a good dub. But I'm not sure. But I'm glad to hear that at least on your side, the quality rose up. And I can see that happening with streaming becoming, like anime becoming more and more mainstream. Especially on the American side of things with all the streaming portals and everything. And thus maybe even getting a bit more budget there and time, and getting more actors that grow into these roles and everything, who also voice normal cartoons, and maybe having voice directors on a lot of the shows that try to go for a more, I don't know, not over exaggerated approach, which I feel you had like on a lot of anime in the 90s, even on shows that didn't need it.
Yeah, because I mean, big outlets like, Amazon, like Netflix, they have the money to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like High Dive is certainly not a big enough outfit for that. Like they don't simultub. Like some of their shows eventually do get dubs, and that's cool. It's questionable whether Crunchyroll has or if they outsource it to other places, but because only sometimes do some of their shows get simuldubs. It's not like 100% of the time, but like for sure Netflix and Prime Video are a lot more consistent with it. So, and it seems like they usually have the money to make them sound and seem pretty good. Like and I don't want to throw it on the actors again, but it looks like the person who played Shin, Dallas Liu, might be newer to voice acting. So, and like I said, I don't want to, or to at least voicing an anime, maybe they have other roles. I haven't looked it up. But, I just want the best for both sides because, the people who are like never dub, it's like, well, your mind's not going to change. So, but, like to see people who enjoy it, want to enjoy it one way or the other, or heck, maybe there are people who like both. Can you imagine? Wow.
Yeah. And, like I said, maybe I'll also stumble across. Maybe I'll check out some of the couple of first episodes from this season or from the next season and see if there's a German dub on that for those shows. I don't even know what airs not on Crunchyroll this season. I guess Sanda might be airing on Netflix. I'm not sure, or on Prime.
It's funny because my two Nopes were on High Dive, so
well. We'll see. I don't know where these air over here, but I think I can check that out for live chart, on live chart, and see if something of that is available and see how the dub suits me. But even if I'm still would come away from the newer stuff and be like, I'll stick with Japanese for this. I will still have my dubs of Wolf's Rain and of Cowboy Bebop and of Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon also has had an exceptionally good dub, which is great. So I think I actually watched that dub the last time I watched it because it's so much because the German voice actors are having so much fun with that show. So there are the occasional outliers, but everything that I like occasionally checked out and looked into with the German dub was like not on the level of the Japanese dub. It was just not as, not as engaging, even though if the performances were solid. And I feel like, hey, if I have the option of watching the show in the perfect audio way and the okay or good audio way, I always choose the perfect option. So, I don't know. Maybe if there's another show that is set over here, like Monster, I'll be like, okay, I'll check this out. I guess I could do it for shows that are not set in Japan, because there it makes the most sense to me. Like, if the new season of Frieren hits, I could check out, hey, how's the German dub of Frieren? That would make sense, right? Because it's a fantasy show anyway, and they all have German names anyway, so it would be super funny to me if they mispronounce, if the translation was so shitty for the German dub that they mispronounced some of the German names in there because they didn't get what the...
No, that would be tragic.
It would be so dumb, but I can totally see that happening.
No, that would be awful. No.
Oh, we'll see. But yeah, that's something that I might look into. So yeah, but after this long tangent, all that's left to say about Sakamoto Days season 2, I guess, is watch it. Like this, the first season and this, which I don't even core, whatever. Because
yeah, I guess this is technically not season 2. What's coming up is season 2.
Yeah, whatever. It's season 1, part 2. Maybe we'll correct it retroactively depending on what they decide to call the next thing that is coming out. If this is going to be season 2 or if this is going to be season 3 or whatever. It's just trying to anticipate this these days is a fool's errand because it seems like they're making their minds up on the fly. Anyway. super fun show. Like, a super entertaining character, good jokes, great visuals, great music, quick-paced story. Actually, more story than you would expect from this show, which is what I said in the first season. I was super surprised that there's actually so much plot in there. This show, in its, 22 episodes at this point, has, more plot than all of Spy Family does in its, I don't know how many episodes that show has at this point. I think it's double.
Like 40 something, and then there was the movie.
And I expected this one to have a similar format, right? In terms of being more of a sitcom, like I said, and being more like, hey, there's a new killer trying to kill Sakamoto, and every time he has to find a different way to fight in his store or in the near vicinity of the store without people noticing it, or his wife or his daughter noticing it. And we got over that so quickly in the first season. Now his wife knows that he's an assassin, and, they're fighting everywhere but the store. I mean, Nagamo and Minimalist fight in the store this season, but it's like a very short scene.
Yeah, it's not much of a fight.
No, Minimalist had no fucking chance. Nagamo is just too powerful. But, it's... I like that the show surprised me in that way. I'm so happy that there's actually more meat on those bones, and it's not just light fun. Don't get me wrong, I like light fun. I like the light fun that Spy Family has to offer, but I also like much more if there's an actual story behind it, and, lore and everything, and world building and shit like that, and Sakamoto Days has that in spades. So I'm really looking forward to the next season. I assume it's the same for you, John.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think we have a time frame for it yet, but as soon as it drops, pretty sure we'll both be there.
Yeah, where can people watch it? Netflix, right? It's a Netflix show.
Yes.
So, do that. Check that out, because if you like assassins and if you can stomach more blood than any one of us expected from the show, then I think you're good to go, and you're gonna have a really fun time with our favorite chubby assassin. And that is a wrap on the 172nd episode of Anime Brain Freeze. All the music in our podcast is from the Double Dragon Neon soundtrack by the amazing Jake Kaufman. Please go to virt.bandcamp.com and check out his awesome work. Find us where all the podcasts live, but also check out animebrainfreeze.com for our review index and more. Please leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcast app of choice if you can. Follow us on the socials or send an email to animebrainfreeze@gmail.com. We would love to read your feedback. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you had a good time, and please join us again on our next episode. Macht's gut.
So long, everybody. Next time on Anime Brain Freeze.
Ghosts of Friendships Lost.
There sure is a bunch of weird things happening in this city.
And the roads to heaven or hell are both paved with good intentions.